Hello and welcome back to AQR. Okay, so we had a project that we were working on, or we have a project now, and we collected data using a Google form, and now we want to do stuff with the data. So I had some requests on this one, so I'm gonna real quick let me hide these. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this is my form responses Excel or Google Sheets that Google Forms gives me when I collect data. So, okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to take my column that I'm going to use. I want to copy it over to a new sheet so I don't change my original data because that's just gone. There's no backup if you mess it up. So, okay, so the first thing I usually do is I sort all my stuff because I like it being in order, like lowest to highest, just because it makes everything easier. It makes it easier for me to see that I'm actually getting what I think I am. So I'm going to highlight my data. In Google Sheets, they don't have an option to see if your data has header. On Excel, if you copy your header part, like your title, it'll ask you, does your data have a heading or does your data have a header? And it won't try to sort that. But with Google Sheets, if you select this, it'll sort it into your list. So it'll put it way down at the bottom. We don't want that, so I'm just going to select the data. I go up to data, sort range, A to Z. So low to high. Oops. Okay. So call that 2000. There we go. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, because we're doing probability with this, is I want my total number of responses. And then I'm going to list my outcomes. Okay, so my total number, I'm just going to get it to count. Equals count. If your data has letters in it, you would do count A, because then it counts just any cell that has anything in it, it'll count it. If you just do count, it counts the ones that have numbers. This one auto-filled correctly, so I'm just going to hit enter. Okay, outcomes. In this case, I'm going really, really fast. I mean, this is not sorted right now, but that's okay. Change it to 2001. In this case, I only have 4 outcomes. I already checked that out before. So I have 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. These were the years that people were born. This is like last year in my class. Okay, the next thing I want to do, and I'm going fast because I'm going to run out of time, I want the number of times each of those happens. So this is the number of occurrences. So I'm going to use a count if function. So I'm going to go equals count if, open parentheses. I want my entire range, and it went down to 181, so I'm going to save time by just typing that, comma, and then the criterion I want it to compare it to. I want it to count everything that looks like this. I'm going to close parentheses, and then I'm going to put dollar signs around my range because I'm going to click and drag this in a minute, and I don't want that to change. And if you remember dollar signs, if you do dollar, like that, the cell address, so this is F8. So if I do $F, $8, it always refers to this. Okay, that's the number of times it happened. Then we want probability. So originally we predicted that each of my outcomes would have an equally likely chance. Obviously that's unrealistic, but that's what we predicted. We said, okay, well, each one has a 1 in 4 chance, but that's not really what happened, right? So for my actual probability, I take the number of occurrences, divide it by my total. And my total, I'm going to go ahead and put my dollar signs here because I'm going to click and drag, and I want it always to refer to that. Autofill is fine. I'm going to do this. I feel like I'm about to run out of time. I'm going to reduce the number of decimals just to make it easier to see to like 3 or 4. And then I'm going to do probability again. And I'm just going to make it do, I'm going to equal to the one beside it. Autofill is fine. I'm going to take these, I'm going to format them as percent. So I could put up here probability percent. Ta-da. The last thing I kind of want to do is I want to put my predicted probabilities just so I can compare. First I have to spell that. Okay. Reason number 585 why I don't teach English. Okay, so the probability was 1 divided by my total, like my all the number of possible outcomes there were, but not like counted individually. So 2001 was an outcome, 2002, 2003, 2004. There are 4 of those. So there's that. And then I'm going to do that same thing that we did before and turn it into a percent. Now I'm running out of time. So that's all we need to do for this. What I would do then is I would clean it up. I would probably put all of these bold because I like bolding my titles. I would probably underline them just because I also like doing that. And same with this, I would make it bold. I'd probably underline it. I would probably center it. Bold, underline, clear. Okay, so that's it.